What's going on, YouTube? This is Jim Afanis and the barking dog, Sophie. And today we're going to talk to you guys about esports. The reason Sophie's with me is because she's barking her head off and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and mommy's trying to sleep. So we're going to hold her until she stops barking. You could tell when I'm getting ready to do a video with this dog, the terror on her face when her ears just drop and she's like, "Oh, this dude's gonna hold me for 10 minutes and poke me and make me wave to the camera and like flick my ears back and be a pain in the ass." Sorry, but you barked and you earned it. What I want to talk to you guys about today was esports. Two major announcements, two different companies both taking a stab at the rising trend of esports. And just to go back a second, I've been a huge gamer my whole life. I played games before games were cool. And it's really cool and it's meaningful to me to see that a hobby that I love, that's so near and dear, really at the core of my being, to see that it's getting national recognition. And I really do like that. I don't need that to validate my stance or opinion on gaming, but it's really nice to see that it's becoming more mainstream accepted and that other people are getting to enjoy something that I have enjoyed my whole life. So that's really cool to me. So when esports really became a thing and it really started to turn into something more than just a quick fad or whatever, you're starting to see more standardized competitions take place, rankings, and it's starting to take on a life of its own, and I love that. And Twitch is right now the kind of premier place to start seeing that movement grow. YouTube obviously has entered YouTube gaming. I have entered YouTube gaming. I actually do some streaming a little bit, not really the competition side of things, but it's just you're starting to see it take traction a lot more. So the first story I wanted to talk about was from Activision Blizzard, and they announced that they're going to begin their Activision Blizzard eSports division. And this is being headed up by Steve Bornstein, who is the former CEO of ESPN and of the NFL Network. That is a really big deal. So you're starting to see companies kind of brand their own piece of it, Right now, WCS, the World Championship Series, is, in my opinion, one of the most well-run organizations in terms of StarCraft 2. So that's where all the StarCraft 2 tournaments happen. They culminate at BlizzCon. There's a big celebration. I got to go see it a couple of years ago at BlizzCon. It's amazing. It's just people cheering and clapping and oohing and eyeing that big, arena feel for a game. It was just it's like something if you've never gotten to experience something like that, I highly encourage you to go check it out anywhere you can. Obviously, that is kind of the big draw. But there's a lot of small tournaments leading up to that where players can earn WCS points in order to qualify to go on to BlizzCon and compete. And the Esports League, they have their own YouTube channel. They do a lot of stuff. The Intel Extreme Masters is another kind of offset of that. And Red Bull actually has the Red Bull tournament. All these different tournaments have points that roll into the WCS and so on and so forth. I think with the standing up of the Blizzard Esports division, it's not going to happen overnight. But I think you're going to see a lot of those formats become more standardized. Right now, the presentation on all three are very distinct. Obviously, it's the same game. There's not like a whole lot you can do in the game, but just the way that the commentators talk about the game, the way that they show things, I think it's going to be more standardized. Think of like watching a football game on Fox Sports. Regardless of which football game you're watching, the presentation is identical. The scoreboard's in the same place. The announcers are kind of using the same technology and the same terminology. You don't really have that right now on the esports scene. Everybody kind of has their own spin on it. And it really does serve an okay purpose for now because, it's not really, if someone's talking and they're just narrating a game that they're watching on Hearthstone, they may talk about it differently than someone else. They may show different stats than someone else, and that's okay. But as this becomes more kind of regulated, I think you're going to see a lot more presentation enhancements, if you want to think of it that way. So I'm excited for it. I really am. I think that's going to be really cool. And I think people who aren't into the game are going to watch it surely from a competition standpoint. And you may get some new competition out there. Somebody may watch and say, well, I can do that. And then they may join. And I think that's a great, I think that's something that's really great. To add on to that, I mean, obviously been hyper focused on StarCraft and on Blizzard's just catalog of games. But don't forget, Activision owns a very big game, Call of Duty. And it'll be very interesting to see if there's any kind of Call of Duty championship that starts. And you're going to may see a lot more competitive first-person shooters with that big backing from a company like Activision Blizzard. So I'm really excited for that. And I know that they do competitions right now for Counter-Strike is a very popular one. I understand that, but just to see it from a different perspective is really, really cool. So that's the first piece of news I'm very excited about. The other one that I'm really excited about as a new Xbox owner and a lifelong Gears head is that Gears of War has announced they're starting their own Gears of War eSports league, and they're calling it the Gears of War Pro League right now. They're doing a local tournament. They've already kind of pre-seeded some teams with a prize pool of $50,000. I'm sure it's split amongst the players, but that's $12,500 a person. That's a lot of money. If it is 4-on-4, actually Gears is, yeah, okay, 5-on-5. I don't know, 10,000 each. It's still a lot of money. It doesn't matter, right? Anyways, they're kicking off their pro league starting October 29th, so right around the corner. They're going to have an official Twitch stream. They're going to set it up. People who watch the tournament and link their Twitch account will be entered to win contests, a contest for giveaways, consoles, the new controller, things like that. The weird thing that they're doing, and this is something that Blizzard has done very well that these guys are not really getting the gist on, is Blizzard will give away stuff in order to kind of draw attention. And they're silly things. It could be character tiles, so like the portrait next to your character name, or different kind of skins, or different kinds of mounts. Gears of War is doing an exclusive Season 1 skin that can only be purchased during the Season 1 tournament, which right now is already locked down for players, but they're doing another wave for like an open competition. And it's called the Sweaty Skin. It's just a yellow and red gear set, which is a typical Crimson Omen, but it's yellow and red. It looks really, really sick. But they're selling it for $5, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. And they said that the $5 is going to be used to fund future tournaments. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't see Blizzard asking for handouts. I don't see League of Legends asking for handouts. I don't see Counter-Strike asking for handouts. So why is a company with pockets as deep as Microsoft asking for handouts? I don't understand that. I think what would be a better solution would be very similar to what Diablo does with their season gameplay, and that by achieving a certain rank or completing a certain objective, you get a kind of, I was here season skin. Hearthstone does that with card backs. Diablo does that with different pieces of armor, transmogrification. I don't know why Gears is taking a different route. I'm very excited for it. I'm going to be getting the game here probably in a day or two. It's going to go on sale tomorrow at Best Buy. I'll probably get it then. I might get it at the launch party at Halo for Halo 5. So I'm gonna throw my name in the hat and try out. I know I'm gonna get slaughtered. I'm not that great of a player in terms of like the high end competition stuff, but I'm gonna throw my name in the hat and try it out. And I think that's what makes the whole esports thing so much fun, is that anybody, maybe it's me, I doubt it, but you could have dark horses. You could just have people come from nowhere. And I think because it's such a much more accessible medium than like basketball or football, where you could like legitimately get hurt, you see people like in StarCraft 2, guys who've been out of the game for years make a run at one last time, or the League of Legends tournament, the guy who he started a new team and tried one more time. I like that kind of stuff, and I think there's still a lot of interesting stories And I think when you start to get that kind of notoriety, I think more people are going to be interested, more people are going to join in. I could totally see this turning into like its own channel that you pay for. I could see it being covered on major sports network in the near future. And I could obviously see a lot more documentaries, making of, training type videos, people talking about just different aspects of the game. And I think that would be like video game nirvana for me. We're still a little ways off from that. I know G4 TV tried to make a TV channel with some competition in it. I think it was called Battle. It wasn't really put together very well. And you got to be careful when you have multiplayer games. That's something that the network's going to have to overcome because it's hard to manage what's going on. I think that Heroes of the Dorm did an amazing job when they were on ESPN3 of kind of, or ESPN2 rather, kind of explaining the rules of the game. But it's a lot to take in for new people. So that's something I hope that these companies are mindful of as they move into the future. But yeah, man, eSports, it is taking off. I mean, everybody's just really jumping on the bandwagon, and I am so stoked. I cannot wait to see what comes out of this. So my question for you guys before I log off here is, hey, wake up. You can't go to sleep, you know. You can't bark and then go to sleep. You got to stay up. I'm going to bark all night and keep you up now. The question I want to ask y'all is, what do you guys think about esports? Clearly, Sophie does not give a flying F. She's passing out over here, but I'm so excited. I think this is really, really, really cool, and I'm very optimistic that they have the right people and the right games to turn competitive gameplay into something that everyone can appreciate. So let me know what you think. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please do me a favor, comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about all things esports. Keep in mind, as I stream to my tens of fans, I'll probably be talking a lot more about this because I got some more opinions on it. But for now, I've been going 12 minutes, and it's time to shut up. Thanks for watching, and until next time, we will see you guys on the other side.